this, we look at ourselves. Many times the aspect of helping is to realize that the one that we're helping is not distinct than us. And as human beings, most of us, when we see someone else, we feel that they're not an extension of us, except for people in our close family, people we might be friends with. But other than that, there are very, very few people that we feel close to. And we feel this is the group, or this is the kind of people that we feel are an extension of ourselves, and that everyone else is different. And also, because we think of ourselves as being different than others, ego comes into play. We start to then think of ourselves as being better than everyone else. It's a human tendency that a person thinks that they are better than someone else. And when that happens, then we start to look down upon others. Because we feel like we are better, we are superior, and we need to let this be known to others. There's a very interesting incident out of the life of a wealthy person. So this was a very wealthy person. He was taking train to come back home from downtown where he used to work. So he gets into the train and looking for a spot to sit, and he finds a seat which was empty next to someone who was sitting, whose clothes were not very good, or seemed like he was a poor person. Since there wasn't any other seat available, so he took the seat and sat down. But as he sat down, he's being careful if the clothes of the other person don't touch him, if his clothes will get bad. And the way he sat all through the rain, he indicated through his physical posture that he was really looking down upon this person. He didn't communicate with the person, he's just sitting very, like aloof. And then the train station came where both of them wanted to deboard. So this poor person, a poor looking person, or the person with the clothes not as well as the rich person's clothes were, he got up and he got out of the train first. And behind him comes this wealthy businessman. He's coming. And all of a sudden the businessman sees that there are tons of people who are very happy to see this person with clothes which are not good. And he's saying that all of a sudden that the person walked down, there's people are coming from here and coming from here and coming from here, and they're rushing to see him. And he's in the back, and he starts to think of himself, who is this person? There's so many persons are here to see him. So he asks a couple of those people who are rushing, why are you rushing? Who is this person? And they told him he's a holy man. And he's just visiting our town. And he's a holy man. He's going to be here in town for a couple of days. And so we're all here to visit him and gain from his wisdom. So as soon as he heard that, he started to think, boy, I had an opportunity to sit with this holy person for a whole hour on the train. And I didn't even ask him anything to gain anything of his knowledge. And here I'm like trying to shirk away, and and he started feeling I must have made him feel bad because of the way that I would sit and I would not look at him, I wouldn't say hello to him or anything else. And he's cursing himself now, that I got this chance to be with someone who would be helpful to me, and I didn't make use of the opportunity. So in the meantime, the holy man is like, there's so many people around him. So he pushes his way, and he goes up to the holy man and says, I'm so sorry, I did not know who you were, and so I behaved very poorly when I was with you, so I want to apologize to you. So the holy man said, no, it's okay, it's fine, there's nothing to worry about. And then he said, if there's, the person said, if there's anything I can do, I know you're in town for a couple of days, if there's anything I can do to help you or help anyone else, please let me know. So the holy man thinks to himself and said, yeah, there's something that he can do, which would be very helpful. And so he says, yeah, I'm willing to do anything for you. And so the holy man said, next time you meet a poor person, treat them as your own and treat them nicely. And that is what life is all about. When we think of ourselves, many of us can think of ourselves in many ways. Many people think, I am what my faith is. That I could be a Christian, I could be a Hindu, I could be a Sikh, I could be a Jew, I could be a Muslim. Many people think that that's who they are. There are others who think of themselves as the profession that they have. Someone says, I'm a doctor, I'm an accountant, I'm an engineer, I'm a lawyer, I'm a carpenter, I'm a plumber. Many people think of themselves coming from the country that they were born in. That I'm a citizen of this country and this country and this country. And we always relate to us in like compartments. I think these are like walls which we surround ourselves with. And as we surround ourselves with those walls, then there's a barrier that we put between ourselves and others. And then everyone thinks that their compartment is the best. Everything else is not as good. And so then either we find faults with something else or we look down upon them. But when we read the writings of the great saints and mystics, and they come in all traditions, it's very interesting. They all talk about one universal Father and all of us being the children of God. When you look back in history and look at the life of any saint and mystic, no saint came to start a new religion. Actually, they came to help the people of their times, whatever times they were. And as they helped the people, they had people who started following their teachings. And then when they physically passed away, the group of people who were following them started a new faith and a new religion. And that's how religion started. If you look back at history, but none of them came with the intention, I'm going to start this religion or that religion, that religion. They came to help the people of the times so that they would be united, they would be together, and they would live harmoniously with each other. And I think that's the message which is as important today as it was thousands of years ago. We live in a very diverse environment today. In every big city of the world, in all the different countries, there are people who from all other parts of the world who live there. So people migrate from one place to another, to another, to another. And as you go to work, you run into people of different faiths, people of different colors, people of different backgrounds, people of different cultures. And the key is to be able to look at the commonality that we all have. Even scientists are telling us, there was a Genome project which was done 5-6 years ago, maybe a little longer. And they came with the conclusion that more than 99.9% of the genes of everyone is one and the same. So the only difference, they say, is the color of our skin, the features that we all have, and we just are so focused on less than 1%, which is different, that we think of each and everyone as to be different than anyone else. But saints and mystics have always been telling us, love your neighbor as your own. That's a commandment of each one of the faiths. They've also been telling us that be grateful for what you have. That happiness is not in able to get things or achieve things or have things, but happiness is being able to recognize the gifts that we have and be happy with them.